Hey, what's up guys, Vizzy297 here with part 2 of my PvE Paladin Healing Guide, or Holy Paladin PvE Guide, whichever you prefer. In this video we're going to be talking about Glyphs. Now there's annotations on the screen right now, so you can jump to any part of the guide that you want to without having to sift through all the mess. Alright, next up on the list are Glyphs. Now obviously there's a lot of good Holy Paladin Glyphs to work with. And some are obviously better for some situations, where some aren't as strong as others are for certain situations. The ones I like to roll with mainly are Glyph of Divine Plea, Glyph of Hand of Sacrifice, and Glyph of Divinity. Obviously minor glyphs aren't really that big of a deal. However, Glyph of Righteous Retreat I find is very helpful on the repair bill if you want to try to, save some money every now and then from when you're making those progression kills on, Heroic Garrosh, right? Anyways, I like Glyph of Divine Plea just due to the fact that it's a 50% shorter cooldown, even though it's 50% less mana. The fact you're going to be using it more often is, it just feels better than waiting a whole 2 minutes to use it. It was a little weird to work with at first when I first started using it, but after I just kind of stuck it out and used it for a little bit, I came to like it a whole lot more, just due to the fact that having a mana restorative ability up every 50 seconds every minute is very helpful, especially when you're starting out and you don't have a whole lot of spirit to work with, because I know it's a little bit of a struggle until you get a pretty solid amount of spirit. This glyph right here, Glyph of Hand of Sacrifice, I feel like is a must for any Holy Paladin. For Hand of Sacrifice, it normally redirects a percentage of the damage the target that you're putting this on to you. So that's kind of bad because tanks get hit really hard, and taking a percentage of that damage is going to hit you pretty hard. So putting this glyph in there gets rid of that damage redirection, which is great, because that way you don't have to worry about, oh shit, I'm getting hit for like 500k out of nowhere. Granted, I don't think you would ever get hit for 500k if you put this on somebody. That's just a random number I came up with. But same concept, it's helpful because I know there's phases like during Garrosh and phases during like Malkarok, Heroic, when we have our tanks solo the transition phase when we all go and clean up orbs and everything. They take a lot of damage in that phase, so I throw this up on whoever's tanking it at the moment, and that's 30% less damage that they're taking, which is fantastic. And then last but not least, Glyph of Divinity increases the cooldown on your lay on hands by 2 minutes, but causes you to give 10% of your maximum mana. I loved this when I first started healing. Well, obviously not when I first started healing, because I started healing way back in the day. But I like this when I first started healing in Mist of Pandaria, because I think they changed it right at the beginning. I don't remember what it was back in Kata. However, it's really nice if you're starting out and you don't have a whole lot of spirit, just because if you're struggling with the whole mana regeneration, having more abilities that are going to give you more mana are great, because it's 10% of your maximum mana, and that's obviously 300k. So that's a couple spell casts, depending on the spell. It's great for emergency situations, and if you're coupling Glyph of Divinity with Unbreakable Spirit, it's only a 6-minute cooldown. So that's like twice usually every boss fight, because the average boss fight is maybe about 10 minutes depending on the fight. So it's almost twice. But that being said, I think it's a really helpful glyph to use, and hi Random Druid, what's up? Anyways, it's a really helpful glyph to use if you are struggling with the mana regeneration. Some more glyphs that are very helpful. Glyph of Flash of Light would be pretty helpful if you, again, were a little more advanced play of Paladin, because I know there's a lot of panic modes where you want to spam Flash of Light. You can't do that because you won't have any mana, and then you're kind of screwed. But this is helpful because it increases your next heal by 10% on whatever target you healed with Flash of Light. So, that's kind of helpful if you need to sort of precast a Flash of Light and get it off on your tank, and then hit them with, you know, Divine Light. That way, that Divine Light's, 10% more healing. It could be the difference between saving that tank's life and that tank dying. And Light of Dawn, Glyph of Light of Dawn, rather, probably really good in 10-mans, depending on your comp, and depending on, like, probably the amount of range you have. And if you're melee heavy, unless you were standing next to melee, I probably wouldn't use it, because 6 targets is how much it originally heals for. That's, over half your raid if you're healing in 10-mans. But 4 targets is not quite half, but still, it's 25% more healing. Pretty strong. If you're in a 25-man, I would not recommend using this, just because, I mean, I would rather have a larger range of healing than just a higher amount of healing on fewer targets. Alright, that's going to do it for the Glyph section of this Holy Paladin PvE healing guide. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember to like, share, and favorite, and to subscribe and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you. And I will leave my raid schedule in the description of the video, so that way you can watch me on Twitch, because I live stream my heroic raid 3 nights a week. So feel free to come by and check it out. You can see all of this in play. But until then, I'm Fizzy297. I'll see you guys in the next one.